structural equation modeling of energy consumption in residential building. Building energy consumption has become a serious issue due to increased energy demand, which contributes heavily to global warming. Based on the reports published, Malaysia's greenhouse gas emission is expected to increase by about 74% from 2005 to 2020. Among the major contributors is building sector, which contributes to 50%, industrial activities 19%, deforestation 17%, and agriculture 14%. Malaysia has been named among the highest greenhouse gas emitting countries in the world. A growth of 7.9% compounded average was recorded from 1990 to 2006. Tenaga Nasional Berhad produced 118 billion kilowatt hours of electricity, of which 54% was consumed by buildings in Malaysia. In doing so, TNB contributed to the emission of 60 million tons of carbon. TNB has seen an increasing trend on dependencies of electricity generation on coal from 28% to 35%. Even though Malaysia is one of the signatories to Kyoto Protocol, Malaysia did little in tackling rapid growth of carbon emission. The Malaysian construction industry is well established and inspiring for its role of providing structural development towards achieving Vision 2020. However, the industry is faced with a series of challenges, particularly its contribution to carbon emission. The industry as a whole is responsible for an environmental threat in terms of natural resources consumption and emission of millions of tons of carbon annually. The major component that contribute to climate change is urban development, which is generating a massive of 50% of total greenhouse gas emission that accounts for 5,300 kilotons. It is forecasted to reach 8,088 kilotons in 2020. The key challenges for the construction industry is its inability to provide solutions to these issues. Thus, this innovation aims at providing solutions to this problem. In the attempt to provide a better solution to the above problem, this innovation focuses on building energy consumption in relation to socio-economic, dwelling, and climate factor. The key question is, does socio-economic, dwelling, and climate factor positively influence residential building energy consumption? 4 research objectives were developed, namely 1. To identify factors affecting energy consumption in residential buildings, 2. To analyze the critical independent factors of energy consumption in residential buildings based on socio-economic, dwelling, and climate grouping, 3. To establish the critical dependent factors of energy consumption in residential buildings based on electrical appliances commonly used by residential occupants, and 4. To develop a building energy consumption model (BECM) based on the critical established independent and dependent factors. Under objective number 1, 80 factors were identified with 31 independent factors and 49 dependent factors respectively. Under objective number 2, critical independent factors are further classified into 14 socio-economic factors, 11 dwelling factors, and 6 climate factors. For objective number 3, critical dependent factors are classified into 6 items, namely kitchen appliances, refrigeration system, air conditioning system, lightings, home appliances, and laundry appliances. Objective number 4 focuses on developing the framework and structural model. Building energy consumption model is then developed taking into consideration factors such as demographic, education background, social background, building orientation, building size and type, and climate. In an attempt to seek for possible solution to the problem under study, 5 hypotheses were developed, namely H1, socio-economic factor have significant and direct effect on residential building energy consumption. H2, socio-economic factor have significant and direct effect on dwelling. H3, dwelling factor have significant and direct effect on residential building energy consumption. H4, climatic factor have significant and direct effect on dwelling. And H5, climatic factor have significant and direct effect on residential building energy consumption. This research provides important information from the dwelling design perspective, such as orientation and cross-ventilation. It provides valuable insight for the developer, policymakers, and to the government alike. Malaysia construction industry can reflect on the result of this research to better manage their contribution to the carbon emission and building energy saving. In conclusion, it is clear that for a country to have significant and continuous development, construction industry must be transformed. The findings of this research have resulted in the development of a structural relationship model that comprise of socio-economic, dwelling, and climate-related factors. This research further revealed that for effective building energy consumption, there is a need for an integration of relevant policies in order to improve the sustainability of the construction industry. This research proposes some suggestions to the Malaysian construction industry as one of the ways it can use in reducing the rate of carbon emission.